Good morning YouTube, Warbles on a lot here, with a video response or communication video I suppose to Lorelei at Cornwall in England. Hi Cathy, I just watched your video unboxing the Thumbnuts, which slowly arrived 2.5 months after they were posted, and I'm sure I put airmail stickers on them, but for that duration I reckon they must have gone by boat, and my best guess is that it was the fracas at Karachi International Airport which has caused the airmail service to be diverted onto the ocean, so to speak. So I figure, with a bit of luck, the same thing that happened to the Thumbnuts will have happened to your first dispatch of the book of Potery, so therefore the Potery should probably be arriving at Glenina sometime soon. And if I do wind up with 2 books of Potery, I reckon I might donate the second one to the local town library, perhaps. And that could even give me an excuse to speak to the people at the town library about their public access computers and ask them if they can show me how to get onto YouTube on their computers. And once I know how to get onto YouTube and Google Plus on a desktop, then maybe I can make some sense of the Samsung Galaxy Y and get back into a situation where I'm able to answer comments and receive and send PMs. We'll see how we go with that. I figure somebody's going to have to teach an idiot to use a computer, otherwise I'm going to lose control of the YouTube channel when everything shifts to Google+. One thing I did notice, Cathy, was that when you were using the twisted thumb nut, you seemed to have it approximately backwards, because it's got a leading edge and a trailing edge, and you'll find the leading edge is flush with the hole. So when you use the twisted thumb nut, yeah, the trailing edge sort of projects proud of the page edge, but the leading edge, there's a man-sized one, the leading edge on the twisted thumb nut is just as flat and straight as the leading edge on the straight thumb nut. So they should be more or less equally functional. The reason I was making twisted thumb nuts was because I figured they look like a wing nut made out of wood, they fit on one's thumb, therefore I should call them a thumb nut. And essentially what one is doing is carving a set of wings around a hole. And I actually sort of enjoy carving wings that have a twist. Those are wind turbines. But I've been known to do aircraft propellers as well. So my theory was, if you're going to go to all the trouble of carving wings on a hole, you might as well carve them with a twist. This is actually the first attempt. This was the second attempt, and as you can see, it's perfectly symmetrical. And compared to a straight thumb nut, the early twisted ones did suffer from having the leading edge stick up and obscure the bottom line of print. Just to see how it would go, I tried a thumb peller rather than a thumb turbine. You have to think about it, but they've both got pitch, they've both got leading and trailing edges, they've both got curvature, but one of them, the one on my thumb on the right, that's an aerofoil that is designed to put power into the air if you turn the shaft. The one on the left, on my finger, it's a turbine. So it's designed to take power out of the air and put the power into the shaft. And quite honestly, I found the thumb pellers to be just a little bit clunky and ugly. And you'll find if you wear the twisted thumb nut with the leading edge pointing to the top of the page, then the fact that the trailing edge projects beyond the bottom of the page won't matter at all to the practicality. It'll be just as functional as the straight thumb nut. And personally, I reckon the twisted thumb nuts are pretty much as close as you can come to a three-dimensional sculpted Mobius strip effect. It's not actually a Mobius strip, of course, but it gets pretty close. And just for MacNutz too, who I see by the comment in the thread underneath your video, Lorelei, he knows my wildlife by name because he watches so many of my kangaroo and wallaby videos. I think I hear somebody on the veranda at the moment. I see. Would you like that? That's it. That was Mrs. Dogface. Oopsie. That's Little Buck, Mrs. Dogface's footling. Over there we have Fruit Loop. There we go. There's a white-winged chunk who's just stolen that from her. Up here we have Mrs. Whitetail and Joey. And that Joey spends most of its time in the pouch, just starting to learn to wander around. But Mrs. Whitetail's got an idea there might be some bread on offer. So she's going over to Monster, the swamp wallaby. The swamp wallaby's already eaten the bread. Okay, something spooked the kangaroos. Here we have Bob the bowerbird. And who do we have here? Come on. That's it. That's Sally and her mother Cindy. Cindy is the little sister of Sandy, who was the first kangaroo to eat bread. And this is Kerry. Oops, I misidentified. That's Sally over there. This is Kim, Kerry's daughter. There we go. Sally, Kerry, Kim. That's right, isn't it? We got the names right. And Sally's mother, Cindy, second kangaroo to eat bread. Kung Fu Kerry would have been about a third. Ooh, she's a cranky old bird. But that's why we call it Kung Fu Kerry. Yes. You want more? You'll have to sniff around because there's a crust on the ground and I've just given you the last of my bread. I think you've had enough. go. Got it all figured out now. Okay, Cathy, sorry it's such a long movie, but I figured you might as well have a debrief on the way with Thumbnuts, and the design history, and an explanation of which way up the twisted Thumbnuts go. Warbles on a lot to YouTube. Ciao.